and sweet Fischer Random Chess by Wesley So course on Chessable. And as always, we have my lovely teacher with us, and he is called Barlind Nachigigi.
Hello, Jan. Hello, guys.
Welcome. Nice that you're here with us, and we're just laughing a little because it's always fun how I pronounce his name, and I guess I never get it right, but I'll try to improve every time, of
That's
course.
the point.
Yes.
That's the point.
Alrighty, so let's dive just right into it, and short introduction for everybody who is new. So, Chessable basically is an online service where you can get courses, and this is a free course, and it is about, as the title says, Fischer Random Chess. And luckily, we have Grandmaster Wesley So. He was the first Fischer Random Chess World Champ with us in the course. He's the author. And what is it about? We learned the castling rules. At least I hope I got them right. And then we had in part 2, I think, a super nice breakdown of Wesley So's thought process. And he did that by commenting his game number 3 from the 2019 Fischer Random World Championship. So that is highly recommended. If you haven't seen it yet, take a look. And then tactics, of course, because I learned that, Fischer Random Chess, Freestyle, or 960, whatever you call it, is more or less not the same as normal chess, but you have a different starting position, and then you are right into tactics, and it's also about center control, and so tactics, right from the start. Yes, and if you like the course, I mean, after 4 parts, if you watch the full thing, you can see if you like it or not. Then, of course, get the full course. It's called The Ascent, Wesley So's Fischer Random Strategies and Tactics. And with that, we can go right into the course, which means we need to go to the reviews. Because Chessable has a certain system, it's called MoveTrainer, based on spaced repetition. And that is a super cool thing for some people, and some people hate it probably. Because, to really learn and understand what you digested before, you need to answer the questions that the program or the course gives you. And if you can't answer or give a wrong answer, then you will be given this question a lot more than the questions that you got right. And some people have high stacks of questions because they didn't do it. And some people have, very low stacks, and that's because they do it on a daily basis. And I have to admit, for this course, I didn't do it. So I click on review and we see how many it is before we can go into the final parts of the course that we didn't cover yet. Okay, we have 14 positions, Barlind. I hope you survive the boring part for you, the repetitions, and you smile if I still don't get them right. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope you'll made some mistake with castles. I know this is a repetition of tactical stuff. So yeah, it was good, and basically it is a slightly changed with. If we compare that with a classical chess, we have some other weaknesses over the board. In this situation, we have completely strange G7 square, or sometimes F7 square. Usually we have F7 unprotected or just protected with a king square, and H7 after short castle, which is normal in almost 90% of games. So this is completely different, and the pieces can protect some square, as you can see. Completely unusual knights on D8, C8, and some different and strange tactic come over the board.
Absolutely.
So
And
good
I'm
luck,
so
good
curious
luck.
about it.
I hope
Yes.
you'll be good.
Okay, we'll see and find out. So, first question is called weak pawns. I guess the pawn on g7 is weak, and I can do some kind of fork here with the queen on e5, attacking the bishop on d5, and the checkmate on g7, because the queen would be protected by the sniper bishop on a1. Let's see if that is correct. Always a very exciting moment to make the move. And the program says plus 10 points for me. It is correct. And we go to the next variation. It is awkward pieces on the first rank, and it is black to play. Here I have to take a look what this is all about.
I spoke last time about the similar situation in Queen's Gambit when you sacrifice the pawn and the stubborn opponent wants to protect him on c4, pushing forward b5 and c6 pawns. Basically, limited pieces to cover the longest diagonal, and after some queen f3 tactical stuff, the white wins minimum one light piece. The same trick we have in this situation. Badly spotted the knight on e1 and bishop and other pieces completely strange and on the strange squares, and you have some chances to take.
I have to admit that I don't remember this one, so basically I have to look at it from the start. And
exactly, you had the troubles even last time.
yes. So let's see. Awkward pieces on the first rank. So is there something that I can snack right away? And the rook, of course, looks kind of ugly. And if I put my queen to c5, what can he do? He cannot move the rook, so he needs to protect it. He cannot protect it. Can he put something in between? He can put the bishop in between. I take it. He can put the queen in between. I take it. And then finally I take the rook. So my move is c5 with the queen.
So he needs to give the piece, knight f2, exactly the same like in Queen's Gambit trick. So if you want to save your rook on a8, you have to give knight c6 or bishop b7 to cover that longest diagonal to save the rook. In this situation, we have the same model, unprotected piece. According to this three times last three streams about this course and chess 960, I recognize some models. Basically the tactic is everything is connected with some unprotected piece. You can see it's not basically in classic chess every pieces are really nicely connected, and rooks immediately protect some squares. In this situation, sometimes we have really strange story with two bishops beside one beside each other, or knights, or as you can see in these moments, rook completely isolated and no synergy with other pieces. So queen c5, very very nice maneuver, and you'll take some advantage. So unprotected piece, I think it's the biggest part of tactic. If you take a look, after checking material, after that, how it's possible to give some check to attack the queen, something like that. Basically, double attack or unprotected piece could be the something similar, and some tactical ideas from the classical chess. Basically, more than more in this type of chess than classical chess, because pieces are completely dislocated, and sometimes you have many unprotected pieces and isolated or alone. So use that and make a right move to catch them
Yeah,
in
and
the right moment.
that's also the fun of 960, I guess. Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So could be strange and unexpected
Mm.
way how you can take advantage of
Mm.
specific situation.
Okay, so I got 2 out of 2, and we'll see next variation for the
Uh-huh.
review.
Uh-huh. Let's go.
White to play. So there is no hint this time. So I need to find it by myself. It is white to play, and here I also don't remember it, so I have to think, which is kind of okay, of course. So what could I do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. First, I'm always checking for the checks. So the only check I see is bishop to b3 check. He cannot move out of the way with the king. So he has to take my piece. He cannot do this, so he has to put something in between. And the first idea would be to put in the pawn on d3, and then I can take the pawn with my pawn, and then I can give a discovered attack later on by moving the pawn. What happens if I take with the bishop? So he comes with the pawn to d5. I take with my bishop. Then he takes with his bishop. I take with the pawn. And then...
You don't remember, I spoke last time about exactly the same position. You mentioned really nice technique that is a three-ply in front, so every
Yes.
time you think white, white, black, white, black, white, black, then you'll find the best solution. Basically, in that moment, about some typical ideas in middle game, will you trade your pieces, or will you take with some other piece to keep your pieces and trying to attack his vulnerable king? So you're correct until one moment. Then you need to find a better continuation.
Okay. So I believe the first move is b3. That is
Exactly. Yeah,
undisputed. Yes.
that is obvious. You are
Mm-hmm.
taking advance over that a2 g8 diagonal. So minimum you'll take
Mm-hmm.
some quality if he decide to play rook f7.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Other complication comes after his move d5, and then think a little bit about options and what do you
The
think?
pawn on
Which
e5 is free then.
then you have
Mm.
pawn e5 for free, exactly.
And if I take it, what is the matter? Mm-hmm.
Also, you will not give him one tempi. When you take with your bishop,
Mm-hmm.
he'll take with your bishop, and basically ed5 is a move which finish
Yeah,
that
I was
how to
stuck
say
afterwards.
combo.
Like nothing's happening on the board then. Yes.
So nothing happens, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have any threat. So
Mm-hmm.
try to keep that fire alive over the
Mm-hmm.
board, and try to find some activities, further activities after bishop b3, and obviously d5 fourth move.
Mm-hmm.
Then another threat,
Mm-hmm.
bishop b3, d5, what then?
Mm-hmm. I will ask Twitch chat. If you know, just write it in. Same thing as last time, Balint. It's amazing. I saw the solution, but I really don't remember, and I don't get it here.
Oh,
Yes,
the
so
obvious example how our mind function with the same model and same patterns. If we do not push and delete some.
Yeah, I have the e5 pawn, so I could take it with the bishop on a1 and have an attack on the unprotected knight.
Of course, action reaction. That unprotected knight from b8 goes directly on d7 and attack your bishop.
Okay.
Instead of that, improve your bishop on b3. He's a sniper. He's aiming on the most important target, that is the black king on g8, and every black piece try to cover that shot from the bishop on b3. So try to dig deeper and do not spend some time and tempis for some how to say marginal pawns. So give that sniper open view and keep digging that diagonal, keep destroying the pieces on that diagonal. And yeah, you can go with that obvious first move. I don't know, maybe he'll sacrifice rook f7, then we are speaking completely pointless story if he decides to sacrifice his rook, which I think maybe is the best for black. After that, you can discuss about some options. But
okay, then I usually I know that I
nothing
first
spectacular. That's the problem. That's the problem, Jan, about this situation. Nothing spectacular, and you're expecting some whoa, but basically at the end you'll take one or two pawns and that's it.
The fun part is they already stop after this move. So I still like to.
That is the reason. That is the reason why I mentioned that. Basically, after d5, which is the move who can stop and save some bigger losses, you can take. You want to calculate?
Yes, I just want to see what really happens. So.
Nothing. Rook f7 is probably the better option for black. You need to pay that price for that sniper, and rook must be sacrificed. That is one option. The second option is d5. But as I said,
let's go
d5.
d5.
Let's go after d5. What is the most forced move in that position? That's the point. That's the way how you need to think, and what we spoke about last time.
I think the most pressing move is to take with the bishop.
No, it's not, because lead in instant trades, right? Bishop d5, no continuation, e d5, and moment for deep breath for black, and then he have a peaceful move without pressure, and he can choose one and immediately the next situation, nothing forced. So he has complete freedom to develop both of his knights, or to make some pressure on f2, or blah blah blah, some exit for the king. So basically try to press him on the strongest possible way. Bishop b3, d5, e d5. Because nothing happens. Your idea is to push the pawn, d6, bam. Again the same problem. So he paid the price, he sacrificed the pawn. Basically that bishop on a8 is covered, and he need to stop that progress for the pawn. In that situation, probably, pass pawn basic rules about pass pawns. You had to block them
Mm-hmm.
first of all. You cannot allow further progress. For example, d6 is a really serious threat,
Mm-hmm.
and why you give that pawn if you will allow to go further. So knight d6 seems the most logical move, and in that case, I believe that the best move is queen to take on e5, making some uh, battery, a1 bishop and e5 queen, aiming g7 pawn. And also, the second very interesting idea is to give a check queen e6. Again, trying to dig deeper with that pawn. If he takes, you will
Mm-hmm.
take with a pawn. Again, the same threat to push him and activate your sniper on b3, taking control over a2 g8
Mm-hmm.
diagonal, and
Okay. Mm-hmm.
vulnerability of the black king is obvious and makes some problems
Mm.
for black all the
Okay.
time.
Yeah. Balint, I think I have these problems with this situation because I'm having a prejudice here. The prejudice is
Mhm.
there is some forcing combination coming up. Yeah.
Checkmate,
But
crazy
yeah,
madness,
something like
discover
this.
attack,
Exactly.
double
Yes.
attack, bam,
Mm,
bam, bam, like
mm,
aliens coming,
mm.
on the board. But
Mm.
sometimes it's not. It's super simple and
Yeah.
take one point or control or trade the most active piece, and that's it. You are even in that case plus 3, 4, or 5.
Yes.
So it's
So.
not necessary every time to have queen and rook plus or to give a smother mate.
Mm,
Sometimes we
mm,
have to be happy with that small pluses. In this case, very
mm,
tough choice for black earlier. I'm speaking about earlier position because
mm,
will you take one or two pawns and stay inactive, or will you
mhm,
give a material and just keep normal?
mhm.
Anyway, your big material down. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was this was maybe the last one.
Okay. Yeah, I already moved to the next reviews position here. I'm now having two correct out of three. Let's see how I can continue. So it's black to play, and I guess.
So, like in classical chess, first of all, we are
Yes.
counting material. Next
Mhm.
story is how to give a check, and
Yes.
later maybe some how to attack queen, unprotected piece, and geometrical stuffs with some important pieces on the same diagonal row, or maybe
Mhm.
file, or
Yeah.
some badly situation when the knight can do something against the more important pieces, and that's it.
Yeah. To me, it looks like knight goes to d3, giving the fork. He
Mm-hmm.
has to stop that
Mm-hmm.
with the bishop. He takes. I take with the pawn, attack the knight. And if he
Mm-hmm.
goes out of the way, I can just again fork with the pawn, and it is protected by the rook. So
Exactly. You
that is
can
the way to
late
go.
at the end push the pawn, that fork, and
Yeah.
big
Okay.
material losses for white, enough for clear
Yes.
and safe path to victory,
Yeah.
to the victory for black.
Yeah. So here is now take.
He just sacrificed the knight.
Yes.
That is the
Mm.
the cheapest,
Mm.
the fastest poison probably.
Okay. So it's 3 out of 4 by now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
smothered pieces. This theme is related to the awkward placement of pieces on the
Uh-huh.
first rank. Pieces can get trapped and smothered more often than in regular chess. So let's take a look.
Yeah,
Doodaloo-loo-loo.
I know this one was also really interesting last time.
Mm.
I'm sorry. So how to you can see the effects of, for example, situation if you hit the pawn on d2 with the knight. That is the
Yes.
deadly threat, checkmate
Yes.
situation.
Hmm.
So everything that is the something warm, and you are circulate around and you are checking how it's possible to get there. So
Yes.
you can see that the queen is the only protector for that vulnerable square,
Yes.
the entrance for the
Correct. So my idea is to chase away the queen. And I have two options. One is with the bishop to c4. And the other way is to go with the knight g6 to e5. And I have to calculate it what happens. So
see the simple. Try to see immediately simple. The simplest solution for defensive side. So knight e5, you are white. What are you doing?
my first intuition would be just here, what is it? E2.
E2, exactly. Keep that queen really low, and
Hmm.
she still controls that d2 square.
Yes.
And let's go with option B. So with the other option,
Hmm.
will you avoid something like that with another option or not?
Yes, the bishop move to c4, of course, prevents
Mm-hmm.
that. And then we need to see where the queen can go. Basically, the queen can only go on the d file to
Mm-hmm.
protect it. And that means that if he takes, he's dead. So he has d4. For
Mm-hmm.
d4, I can just sacrifice my pawn.
You don't need to sacrifice. That is not sacrifice. That is
Yeah, I
just
mean, yeah, it's not a sacrifice, correct, but I can attack with the pawn. So,
c5, and
mhm,
your pawn is protected, right?
yes, and then the queen has nowhere else to go on the d file, and the task should be done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I believe
mhm,
that's it.
yeah, me too. Let's go.
So bishop c4 and
Correct and
later c5,
correct.
and big material losses
And
for,
now we go.
and very nice mother checkmate.
I love it. Super nice. So now we
Yes,
are.
mother story. I think mother
Hmm?
story is more often in this chess than classical. Because
Hmm.
usually knight goes on f3, g5, f7, double attack or something like that, or knight c3, knight b5, knight c7. In this situation, I don't know, the that could be really strange way how the pieces could be trapped. So for example, bishop isolated on b8, you can attack him with a knight or somehow, and he doesn't have enough protectors.
Hmm.
So
Balint, that is
we'll see.
G1. Hmm?
That is
G1.
aha, g1.
I noticed that from the last streams that sometimes you mix it up if the board is turned around. Hmm?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. But it happens to me too. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go to the next situation and the awkward position. That is also a theme. Awkward positions on the first rank. That is a positive for these smothered positions, as you said. Hmm?
Yes, mother
Hmm?
story. I think it's really
Okay.
aha, this one.
So here it's black to. Oh, you already say, aha, this one. I first have to take a look. What is it? Okay, so.
I don't remember that positions, and I
Hmm?
know when.
Hmm?
you solved this one. I remember every position, and right, I remember your thought process.
Mm.
At the end, I know your final answers.
Very nice, Barlind. I don't. But I think here the bishop move to c4 is probably good, but I forgot why. So let's see. Of course, it is a pin on the queen, but is the queen pin needed? I think there was something. But
This
is
seems like
that correct?
classical chess.
Hold on, hold on,
You
hold
have
on,
short
hold on, hold
castle,
on. Barlind, it
long
is
castle.
something even way better, and that is the pawn to f5, trapping the bishop.
Exactly, you found that last
Yes.
time.
Okay, let's go. Okay, now we are 4 out of 5.
Woohoo!
White to yay, hey. So, and I always like to pronounce the name as your name. So this is Shamjaran Shujipov.
Yes, this guy is a winner. You know,
Okay.
my name is piece for piece of cake for pronounce if you
Okay.
compare with this guy. Anyway, this was a strange idea, and last time we also saw this one. So you have a hint, and I believe you can read that it about
Yes,
some
I can.
very
And
bad.
I think it
Mm-hmm.
was the knight to b5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on, hold on. It was something with a checkmate on the back rank if the a7 7 square is taken to so. What happens if I just move b4? b4 is taking away the protection for the knight, and basically it's free to take afterwards. Is there something, a refutation to that?
So last time we spoke about that, the one of the black pieces is completely dislocated, and
Knight on
you
a3.
have and let's focus on him. What
Mm.
do we need to do? Cut off the protectors and
Yes, b4, attacking the
yeah, and
queen.
we spoke about knight b5 or some knight c6 but we black played completely unexpected move. Do you remember what was then after b4?
Hold
We
on.
calculate queen a7, we goes with
Yeah,
I don't know some other
wasn't
option.
it queen c4 coming up after that?
Exactly. Exactly. So queen c4, really nice maneuver.
Mm.
You will attack my knight. I'll attack something bigger and more important for you. And if you trade, if you change that, I'm going out with my knight from the bad situation, and you can move him from a3 to c4.
Yes, correct.
Giving him a new life and new options for escape. So after b4, queen c4, one very unexpected and very cool, strong move keeps that knight into the prison, and geometry is really strong. It's one of the nice studies I made. The how to dominate knight. So geometrical ideas to keep him close there on a3 square. So who can help you after b4 queen c4? Who can give you a new support? new supporting piece for the queen.
We have the bishop, of course, to
Mhm.
e2, protecting the queen. And if he
And
exchanges, then we still have the knight.
trapped, right?
Yes. So I believe that's
So,
the solution, and we just go for it.
So as you can see, in this position, we doesn't have any checks, any wow, brilliant stories. We are just using very badly spotted knight opponent knight on a3, and we can make some plans to catch him, to take advance over his bad position. Cool,
Yes.
very
So
good.
we are now 5 out of 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just like in regular chess, checkmate ends the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So. That
So
was
as you can
something
see,
on the
unexpected.
E7 thing, so
Uh-huh.
wasn't
A7, E6.
it? Yeah. So.
So you can see. Yeah, so we can see some ideas. If you teleport the lady, king
To
doesn't have the
E3.
exit neither on F7 or D7. In any situation, he'll be catched.
Yeah. I think it was getting the knight out of the way to make room for the queen. And so it is taking the knight on c4. He cannot take with the queen because then my rook would take the queen. So he has to take with the pawn. Then I go with the queen to e3. And then he has. Well, I would play rook to d7 probably. Protecting the pawn on. And that's why probably taking the e7 pawn with the rook can be a nice thing to do. And this is what I'm going to do. I think the first move should be taking the e7 pawn. So the king is not protected. If then he takes, I'll take the knight. And afterwards I can give him a check. And then
Change that move order.
move order. Is it move order? Okay, let me check then.
Change that move order. You should goes with
Yeah. So
smaller steps at the beginning, so not radical, because he can escape in some moment completely. If you give him a rook, he can give you back that knight. So at the beginning, if you don't give him anything, he must react if you hit his knight, right?
yeah. So it's
So
the knight first, and then the rook, and then the queen.
exactly.
Yes.
And you'll end up with your lady on e6.
Yes.
That is
Correct.
nice synergy between the queen on the light squares. And every time when you have a dark square bishop, Jan, I think we need that synergy. Queen on the light square and bishop on dark square. That gives us that X. You can see f7, g8, and g7, f8. Some part of the board. That sector is controlled by the queen and bishop. Really, really nice synergy between them.
Yes.
Okay, let's go next.
Yes. So it is white to play. And
Mhm.
I would give him a check with the knight on g6. And basically he would have to take if he wouldn't like to lose his rook. And if he takes, we have a check with the queen on h5. And then
So again, the same story. That sniper on a2 g8. That is also really common in classical chess because we know where the king will end up, and as I mentioned, 80% of games are connected with a small short castle because king is more safe in that castle. No problem with unprotected pawn or far away from the corner. He's just on the best square. In that situation, that bishop on a2 g8 diagonal is a sniper aiming all the time on the most important target, black king. In this situation, of course, some pieces cover that diagonal, but anyway, we are using the A or H files to open this position and destroy any options and any possibilities to stay with
I
some
already did a
equal
mistake, Balint.
material.
I just noticed. So I cannot check with the queen because the pawn is still there.
The
So
pawn
I
is
just
there.
attack.
Yeah.
So I just take the pawn with my pawn. That is a way better move. And so the rook
Huh?
is attacked, and afterwards I can put the queen to h5.
Exactly.
So,
So
mhm,
if you have, for example, queen on d3 or f3,
mhm,
then this model knight g6, hg6, and queen h3 is really effective and of course
mhm,
really nice to catch the h file with the queen. In this situation, h5 is not available after hg6, so you have to pick
mhm.
more peaceful version and
Yes. So
just
basically,
take.
mhm, let's check what happens if he says, well, I'd like to. Well, we're at the position. I go again. It is knight to g6 check.
Mhm.
Pawn takes,
Check.
pawn takes. Then he has an option to take his king away. So that doesn't make sense because then I can just take the rook. So I,
Also,
of course,
you can bring the strongest threat on the board. You don't
yes,
need to
the
take that rook immediately.
queen
His
to
queen
h5. Yeah.
queen
So
h5 and
then we have a checkmate threat on h7.
mhm.
So he um,
Keep some pressure
cannot.
on the vulnerable squares. You'll take at the end if he managed to escape. At the end,
Mhm.
you'll take his rook or something.
Yes.
Before that he needs to avoid checkmate, so he'll give you even more material. You don't need to hit him directly.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
anyway, that is also we spoke last time with the option if you give him a check and he goes with a king to g8.
Checkmate
What
on
are we
h7
doing?
with the queen.
No. I'm speaking about if he don't take the knight g6,
Ah,
king
okay, I
g8
understand. Okay,
immediately.
so
Immediately. So how you will take the biggest progress or how you can take more
mhm.
material.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, it is either taking with the knight on f8,
Mm-hmm.
but then he can just take with the rook
You
on.
said also that last time. No, he cannot. His king is there on g8, pinned.
Yeah, we moved that. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, he cannot. True. Mm.
He
Okay.
cannot, and when you
Mm.
take first of all rook on f8, literally your next assassination will be bishop from d5 to f7. Another plus. First of all, you
Yes.
took one rook
Mm.
with the knight, and
And
then
then the other one. Mm.
another one, another
Mm.
plus. Bishop will take the rook. So two quality up, and probably that is enough for win.
Barland, why do you remember that I did say that last time too? It's totally amazing to me. Just.
Because
Mm.
I'm following my
Mm.
students what they are doing, and
Mm. Okay.
I'm worried when they made the same mistakes
Mm.
multiple times, of
Yes, I
course.
know. Yeah, it is
But that
visualization
happens,
here. Yes. Mm. Okay, so I just
That
moved.
is that happens.
Mm.
Play, yeah.
And here it already stops. Okay, so I guess we discussed it enough, so that is fine. Next variation is white to play, and here I remember it was forcing the king
Huh?
to a super position where it's being checkmated. So
Mm,
it
exactly.
was da, 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 queen a8, I think. Because if he tries to escape to d7, that was a problem last time, then I can just go with the
Mhm.
pawn to c6, and he has to go to
So
e6, and then
so
checkmate
basically
black.
you have two paths. You don't need sometimes to calculate
Mm.
what is what you want. Basically just reverse the story and think what he can do. It's not about will. He must be forced. And last time you mentioned queen b8, later you play queen a8, and now you made correction, and you memorized your mistake. So the reason
Mhm.
why you are going on a8 is that fact you'll give the protection for c6 pawn, and he'll be protected, and that is the final piece to put him in very bad situation, forcing him to go on e6, and then queen goes to c8 or g8. Anyway,
Yes,
in both moments we have a checkmate. Yeah. So the
correct.
the
Mm.
the main reason is you can just see, okay, queen b8, queen a8. Main reason is queen a8 because c6 need protection. That's
Mhm.
it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Ta-da!
Sometimes just check that main differences between that, what you'll get with this one. What do you have with queen b8 or queen a8?
Mhm. Mhm.
Just small correction and you'll easy catch that position what you are aiming from the beginning. Very nice. Let's go next
Phew.
one.
Okay. Pins
Maybe
and
this one is
unpins. Hmm?
pins. Oh, also really cool
Black to play.
moments.
So where do we have a pin?
Mhm. Yeah, pin and
Mm-hmm.
unpin. So I also made one really nice study with ideas, traps and counter traps. So when fight starts and both sides thinks that they are correct with these solutions and with these lines, at the end that fight is going,
Mm-hmm.
counter strike, counter on counter on counter, and every time some fight, you will hit me here, I'll hit you here, you'll hit me here, and some movement between the pin pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember
It
this one
is
here.
obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably sacrificed knight from d4, took the pawn on c6, aiming
Mm-hmm.
that situation to pin the rook after bishop b5. But then he completely forgot about that story, ping pong story, table tennis. When you are under pressure, just hit
Mm-hmm.
that ball and throw that hot potato in the opponent hands.
Here is taking the knight. If he takes with the bishop on b5, we give him
Mm-hmm.
the fork on c4, and he has to
Mm-hmm.
take basically or lose the bishop right away. And
Basically, you are unpinning your rook and
mhm.
saving the material, taking
Yes,
serious
mhm.
advantage in the future.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
Mhm.
But that happens also, and that type of ideas are
Mhm.
is really cool in classical chess. I
Mhm.
like that.
And how funny if you don't see this refutation and just resign before
Oof.
finding c4 with the bishop. Yes. Mhm.
But that's everything happens.
Mhm.
So that is reason
Mhm.
why you had that lectures before. Jan, never give
Mhm.
up.
Yes,
That-
very right, very true. Just by the way, Barland, have you seen the Champions Tour yesterday with Wesley So versus Magnus?
no, I didn't watch nothing.
Okay.
That was classical chess or
No, no, it
960
is
or
rapid. It is rapid. And Wesley
well,
So won the first match because Magnus blundered. He went into a knight fork. I guess it was queen and king. And in the second
oh,
game, Wesley So was up by like +3, +4, and he managed to
mm-hmm.
lose the game. And Magnus was close to giving up, and afterwards he said he just kept on playing and hoped that something happens, and something happened. So that was
Yeah.
really Wesley So he looked so depressed afterwards. Mm.
Mm, yeah, it's
Mm.
tough when you have completely winning position
Mm.
and then nothing. Oh, setup. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, this is
openings.
now from the introduction. Yeah, they jump for the reviews, and this is about castling. And here we have white to castle, and white cannot castle to the queen side, but white can castle to the king side. And it is correct. So this was about
Yeah, we
learning to
have this
castle.
one, right? We
Hmm.
have this one. I think we stop on the tactical stuffs,
Yes, we did,
or
but
we.
the review session goes back and forth between everything you have to review. And once the review sessions are done, we jump right into the tactics, and it's 8 or 9 tactics left only.
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
Mm. Black can't afford to
Short.
take this pawn, and the reason is we have a checkmate waiting for the king. And I remember how that goes. It goes by the knight checking, and then we have a super rook move and a checkmate. Okay.
Do you remember the name for this type of checkmates?
Cassandra, Philidor, Butterfly, whatever. I still have to learn them. Yeah.
Anastasia.
Anastasia, there we have it. Yes, true. Okay.
Knight and rook. That is Anastasia checkmate.
Okay. And here we have how can black castle.
If I know well. Okay.
And here it is again the castling to the king side, and you have to put the king onto the rook so the program knows what to do. And if you're playing over the board, same thing, you have to just put the king to his normal square. That is correct. Okay. Balint, woohoo, nothing to review. And my next review of this course is due in 3 hours and 9 minutes. So what we are doing now is we are going to exit the review part and we go right into the learn phase. And see here it jumps into the tactics
strange
chapter.
For me, again castle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We repeat multiple times. Yeah. And that was, whoa, again castle.
Yeah. So we have, let me shortly count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tactical positions open to finish this course. The rest is ticked off. So we start. It's Sergei Tsubrilin versus Hamachap Vardanyan. And it is white to play. So we have a new position, and the good thing is everything is new to me as I have bad memory. So we see. Let's go. So
this is interesting. We stopped last time. We stopped here last time, and I didn't notice the best move for white. But after 5 seconds, I finally found him.
You did? So my first intuition, as you know, I always go with intuition. It would be bishop f1 to a6. That would be my intuition. But that doesn't have to be correct. So let's see.
You mentioned last time 3 ply in front. So
yes,
bishop a6. What are you doing for black? Just pick the most logical move. Do not take that so seriously, so deep, million calculation. Just basic, simple, the easiest stuff. There is a check on rook, attack on the rook like check on the king. Simple story. What I can do to stop check? Kill the bishop, I can do that. Put the bishop, put something in front of the bishop and rook. No, I can do that. So basic stuff, immediately you can reply that I need to escape with my king. I need to escape with my rook. Where are you going? And you immediately have that feeling and evaluation from your heart, and you will feel that something smell bad. And I don't like that. You immediately take that answer. You don't need to go really, really deep. Just try to think simple. I'm not telling that is final solution, but just simple. And bishop a6 for your first view move for black. And then question, what is changed? Basically nothing.
Just rook b6.
Exactly. So from your heart, that first view, first response, try to bring on the board, and you'll did I get something? No, my bishop is hanging and nothing happens. Even
nothing
in that
happens
case,
on c8.
And nothing happens on c8, and also I'm giving some exit for the knight. For now, the knight is safe only because the pieces are pinned. That pawn is pinned, and you cannot take the rook is hanging. And after rook b6, you are making even worse story, because you you tickle the lion and he just bomb rook b6. What is going on? I cannot, neither in this case I cannot take the knight, and my bishop is hanging. So you can feel that this is not good. I need to find another way and some other another motive, other way to take some plus from this position. So go with the simple ideas. What is you want to take the piece, right? You have that, but you cannot, because rook behind that pawn is under pressure. In which situation that ba5 is possible? What do you need? Which kind of protection or something is?
So protection would be nice, of course. So, but here comes the but again. Yeah, it is if I protect with bishop to d3, then he could just escape with the knight to. No, he cannot, because then I can take with the
So that is, like that kid game. You hot, really, really hot, and you are really close to the logical sequence. Why is something good or bad?
Yes. So I believe bishop to d3 is the correct move, and I will put it on the board.
Exactly. So that was last time I saw that. I tried to put my knight on c3, and that was a problem because b4 is hanging with some rook lift, rook b2, rook b3, doubling the rooks. You'll still have the same trouble. So fundamentally, solution for the next ba5 is bishop d3, second protector for the vulnerable b1 rook, and that's it. After that, this ba5 coming unstoppable.
Yes. Okay, so next one. Black to play. Let's see. So
this is what I like, some chase. King chase. And some geometry, how to catch him. This fugitive.
Yeah. So always checks, takes, threats. And I have one check, and that is queen to e2. Check. What can he do?
Check, threats, geometry. That's the...
That is yours? Yeah. I really learned from other courses, and so it's checks, check takes, check takes, and threats. So that is the four things. And I have to admit, when you say geometry, I kind of know what you mean, but at the same time, I have no clue what you're saying with geometry. Yeah, so that is something that's a blind spot for me.
Strange position between the most important pieces and options to take advance with your light pieces, or maybe queen or something, to combine to put them in bad situation when the most important pieces are on the same road. For example, you want to hit them, put them on the same road or the same diagonal or the same, put them on the same spot if you want to, hit one hit two flies. And that's the point about geometry. Some diagonal, some the same row or same problem with fork about the knight. So you are forcing them to go there into the bad situation, bad geometrical situation, and then you arrange your final picture what you want on the board. I
Okay.
have something on my mind, but it's not defined completely.
Okay.
Okay. What
So
do we have?
I'm checking here the options. So I go queen e2 check. If he tries to escape to d4, I can check him with a knight.
D5.
F4.
So queen e1, count directly. Queen e1, queen e2, he can go queen d5 and queen b3. Seems more logical to go on b3. Do you have something
It is too
in
fast,
that
Balint.
case?
I have to first think for myself. Sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah.
You have to bear with me. I'm so sorry. Okay. So if he goes to d4, I check with the knight on f4. He goes to c6. And I
that's
checkmate him
end
with the
of the
queen
road.
to d7.
And now your queen is on e2. You move
Yes, it
her.
is. Yes.
So no,
That is
no
unfortunate.
available.
Yes. So
Yeah.
then he is gone, and I have nothing to do.
But you know, Jan, that picture is really important, and we have four important sequences about this situation and about this position. So three different checkmate picture and one geometrical story. And that's it. You just need to find that four pictures and you'll solve that everything. So simple.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, so
Anyway, try to think about easier and the easier defense for white. Maybe through that process you'll see you are on the wrong you are driving in wrong direction. First of all, queen e2. What are you doing if he goes queen king to b3? That is easiest part because you can arrange some checkmate if he goes deeper on d5 and you can catch him. But if he goes on b3, bye bye. You can repeat that queen d1. I'm going back on c4 and repetition. So you have to break that moment if he goes on b3. If you cannot break that moment when he goes with his king on b3, you can completely go back at the beginning and you can recognize that queen e2 is not my move. I need to find something, something stronger, something sophisticated, more sophisticated to
sounds
catch him.
absolutely perfect for me. That's all my moves are sophisticated in a bad way, probably. Okay, so let's see. So
And
we
then you are
have
going.
queen to f1.
So where is the difference? Again,
I can check if he goes to b3.
exactly. You immediately have to check and test that options if he goes on the in that way like he do last time. So where is the difference? Why this Balin speaks about that differences and what is going on and what is coming next? Do you have any differences between queen e2 or queen f1, or that is, who cares, the same? Now
Oh,
that
well,
geometry
well,
story.
well. If we. Hold on. Yeah, so we can check him
Mhm.
on b1. And if he retreats, we can check him on A2. But then he can escape to the other side, I think.
The immediately difference between queen e2 and queen f1. Yeah, when he goes on b3, you can give him a check on b1. But first of all, you have one amazing geometrical punch, and the game is done. The game is over after that.
Check. He goes to b3.
Okay, what is the other check beside queen b1? That's the other check. Where is the geometry? What I'm speaking about.
We could go again to d1, is also a check.
And he goes back on c4. Same story.
Nothing happened. So
Nothing happened.
there are only these two checks. It is d1 and b1.
That is with one piece. You're completely forgetting about the other options. You have more pieces.
Yeah, but the knight will be taken.
And so that is geometrical picture. You're forcing him to take that. He cannot. Oh, I don't give. I don't care about that geometry. But is that true?
Okay, so we are checking on, let's say, b1. No, we're not checking with b1. We are checking with the knight. Hold on. So we go to f1 with the queen. He retreats to b3. And we are giving him a check with the knight on d4. Then he has two ways to take my knight. And that is taking with his knight.
Or pawn. Seems really stupid and no reasonable decision, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, but where is the catch? Where is the catch about that? When he goes on b3, your second check is
I'm scratching my head, Barland.
so knight goes on d4, that is check.
Yes.
Where is the second check with the knight?
The second check with the knight.
After that, aha effect.
Barland. Oh, this is so lovely.
Aha effect is coming, I know that.
Okay, so if I take it, then he is forked and the pawn is, well, not good to take, because then I can... Well, hold on. So I check. Check. Okay. And it's a double check. No, it's not. So let's do this again. So we have this here. Then we take that. And then we have... He needs to take, and then we can, basically just put the queen to b1 and get the queen.
Exactly.
So
So
let's just
knight c5,
check
he
this.
has to take with his pawn. In that moment, the b file stays open, and queen b1 gives you a serious results because his queen and king are on the same b file. At the end, b3 and b7 connection is c5 geometry. When he takes again b file, queen b1, again another geometry, queen and king on the same file. So give a check, take a queen, win the game.
But let me check. So if I give check with the queen on f1,
Mm-hmm.
what
Okay,
happens?
that is
What
just one part. We
what
have a
still
second
happens?
story.
What still happens if he goes to d 5 now? So if he
Exactly.
goes to d5 now,
I was worried and I didn't notice immediately the solution after that. But as I said, you just need to see two mating picture, uh, and that's it. So you saw the one checkmate picture, and you notice that geometrical story. So 2 out of 4 solved. Let's see
yes.
what happens after king d5.
So I would still give him a check with the knight on f4. And then again, he would
That's
go to
that
c6.
inception ideas don't get out from our head when we have that, you watch that Inception movie, right? So the idea is the, you know deepest seed, and you cannot out of your head, no way. When you saw that at the beginning,
Balint, I have
you
an idea.
uh-huh,
And the idea
uh-huh,
is a checkmate idea.
uh-huh.
And
Okay.
that is, we don't care about our knight, and we just check him with the
Uh-huh.
queen on d3, and he takes the knight, and we give him a checkmate on queen d7, and that is a
Exactly.
bird's tail checkmate.
Exactly. If he goes
Yes.
on the other side, so if he don't take the knight, if he goes on the final square where he can escape,
It's also checkmate, same thing.
that is
Just
c6,
not a
and
bird's tail.
also it's the bird tail. It's the same checkmate. Queen beside the king takes 7 out of 9 squares usually in that open fight. So really, really tough escape for the king.
Yes.
Small exits and really tight space for his escape. Yeah, of
Balint, these
course.
are super nice tactical positions for me, I think. And you are just
Hmm.
so fast. It's amazing. So,
Thank you, and sorry
okay.
for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so we did this one, and now we just take here. And this is an alternative move, Balint. Did you see? So there is also another move that he says is super good. Oh, now we have to think again. Always I need to think. Such a problem here. Okay, so
But you must admit this knight c5 is more than enough, right?
yes,
In
but there's another.
from human
Yeah, sure, sure,
perspective.
sure. There's just as Chessable works like this. They need one move they accept as
Mhm.
super correct as the one that the program expects, and then there are safe fails, which basically are moves that are equally good, but the program needs one move that is really correct. So alternative is also correct, but we need to find that other one, and I don't see it. So let me check.
Yeah,
So
because knight c5, b c5, queen b1, that is materialistic approach, and you are winning. You will take the queen, but that is not the best. You know that Lasker topic, and he said when you find a good move, try
Look for better
to
one.
find
Yes.
even better. Go for the better one.
Mhm.
And basically, better one is something forced, which will end up with checkmate.
Mhm.
So you will not take that queen with a basically really nice, amazing maneuver, right? Knight c5, bc to open the b file to catch a queen, but you don't need to do that. You can
Mhm.
go with your primary idea, and you were right with that. So yeah, after queen f1, he must go on b3, keep forward with some other checks.
Mhm.
So you know queen d1 is not. Basically, we were there, right? Something else
Yes.
is knight c5 is the second check, and you have the final solution, the last option to give a check, that is
D1.
queen to b1, exactly. And then if he goes, you are giving him a choice. Probably if he goes on a4, then you need to pick knight c5 moment. And still better, because when you take the queen, his king stays on a4,
Yeah,
queen
we'll
b5
see.
is coming later. If you are
Okay, and
following me.
now this time, yes. Funny.
And if he goes on c4, then yeah, you don't have any more that pattern with a fork, knight c5 or something, but you can checkmate him. Yeah, this is the computer options. He will never take that sequence and that line where he end up in some checkmate. Of
Yes.
course, he will give some material, and also he can progress with that deficit. I don't know.
Queen
He's queen down,
A2.
but he's fighting. Queen a2, knight a4, and queen e2 at the end checkmate. And that is
King
4. So queen c4,
B3.
king c4 leads him in indirectly checkmate in 3 moves. So that is the reason why this is better. You can give
Yes.
him a choice to enter into the direct checkmate, which is of
Yes.
course end of the game.
Alrighty. This was tough and
Mhm.
very good. And as always, Barland, I'm so tired. You know, my favorite excuse. So let's
Yeah.
let's see. Loose pieces drop off. Loose pieces drop off. So where do we have the loose pieces here? White to play. And a loose piece could be the knight on c6. Not protected in any way. But
Mhm.
if we take it, the queen. But I need thinking time on these as always. You see it immediately, I don't. And so, chat, if you are having ideas, also just bring it up and we'll discuss. Let's see. So, yeah, if we take the knight, his queen could go to e3, forking, but my knight is protected in any way. Is there anything else? Seems so easy, but there is a catch probably somehow. Let's
Of
find it.
course, there is a catch.
Yes.
Of course, there is a catch. Every time we
Mm.
have something, some trick why that
Yeah,
doesn't work. So where is the difference? I see the point, but it's
I don't for now. So, okay. So
okay.
the idea obviously is to take, and then he has some super nice refutation, which I don't see. So I take the knight. Then he could give me a check
Mm-hmm.
on e3. What happens
Two
then?
options. Two options after queen e3.
Yes, two
First
options
one
for
is
check. I see only one. Well,
two
basically
different
he
options.
could also go queen c5. Yes, attacking queen and king. forcing me to basically exchange queens.
No, queen e3. I'm speaking about queen e3. Why he will trade the queen, his piece down. So queen c6, queen e3. In that moment, white have two different ways to
You meant
get
white.
out
I
of
thought
check.
black has two ways to check. Okay.
Yeah,
Which is,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Maybe
Okay.
I wasn't specific or.
Okay, so he plays e3 check because he's a piece down
Mhm.
and exchanging is not a good idea. Okay, so
Probably, yeah.
then, okay, so what happens? I have,
If you play rook f2, let's go with the ugliest.
yeah, then the knight comes in and I'm kind of really bad.
No. If queen e3, what rook f2, right? That is the first one. First way to
First way to get out of check, yes. So
get
then
out of
I
check.
would play check with rook d1.
That is not check.
It is not check.
That is not check. That is checkmate.
Ah, Balin. Yes, it is. So then it's not a good idea
So
for the rook.
that is a dead road. Avoid that. Do not go left.
Yes.
Immediately delete that from your out of your mind and just out. That's it.
Balin.
I don't want that. Okay.
If you hadn't brought it up, it would never had crossed my mind. Okay.
Okay. Then let's go with
So
next. So
second option is rook.
no choices. That is the program language. If then. So we
Mhm.
are not going with with choices. No, if we do that, immediately checkmate. Do not
Yes.
do that.
Yeah. So
King
the only
h1,
option,
second.
only option, only option. So
King
I did
h1.
that, yes, and then.
Then that is the reason why this queen c6 naive story doesn't work. In that moment, after queen e3, king h1,
Lovely.
he put
Yes, I can just take the knight, and if he
exact
takes with the rook, it's again checkmate. Yes.
back rank story. So
Yes.
no further and direct progress in that case. That is the reason why this so obvious queen c6 move is, a trap for some fast and reckless players. And you, of course, need to go deeper.
Yes.
Basically, every time if you have some position, why exactly this type of position, why this moment. So probably that is a kind of cheat, but that is there is something amazing for you, and that is so obvious to take that knight for free, but nothing happens, nothing good happens for white. Instead of that, let's try to find something else. So queen c6 doesn't work immediately. What do we have after queen c4? That is another option, right? Second chance to give a check.
Yes. So
He has to go on h8. Everything else seems really bad. King f8, double discovered check, knight
the good
g6.
the good thing is that with queen c4, the rook and the knight are protected.
Yeah, okay, but queen on c4 is needs to step step up and take that knight or do something. Queen c4, king h8. Now is the moment of truth. What do we have after that? Do we have something after that?
Knight e6. But this is guessing, not calculating.
Yeah, so some guess.
So queen c4, check, and then we have the king to h8. I'm so sorry for you, Paolo.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's really, really complicated. It's I know, and I know that feelings, and I know that moment because of experience with the multiple students. The something what is not completely forced, and you know, like a sequence of numbers must be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 5, 10, 15. Must we need some order in our head, and it's really difficult to go deeper if we are playing some quiet move, or if something isn't completely forced, you know, check, checkmate, check, check, fork, check, check, take. That maximum 3 punch and that's it. That is our, you know, final combo. Sometimes no final combo, no some magic, and some protected, controlled, prophylactic moves or really quiet moves, which completely destroyed some chemistry between the opponent pieces, give us the right way how to go, how to take some advantage from this position. Basically, a lot of players, after a lot of calculation, will be completely satisfied with that queen c6, take the knight. If he see that queen e3 check, king h1, queen f4, okay, I can play something like queen f3, and that is around equal, or I'll play, I don't know, rook e1, nothing happens. That is not point. Basically, you just start some desperado story. If you take his knight, he will take your knight. You cannot recapture because of a back rank story. But what you can do, for example, with that check, you are putting his king into the same ugly situation like our king on h1. So
Yes.
he is in trouble about back rank. Then another question, where and why is the reason why we cannot take the knight on c6? Basically, he will take our knight on f4, even if he is in that moment protected twice. First of all, you will remove the protector with the queen on c4 because she will take the knight on c6, right? And the rook is in another trouble. He's protector for the back rank because queen e3 is coming, check, king h1, and then queen takes on f4 that knight. So basically everything circle around that knight. Everything happens around that knight. And after queen c4, king h8, which is completely forced, you are playing completely strange, really unexpected move for our brain. And
Yeah, I thought,
you,
I thought about, basically, if I play c4, I have free move with my knight available to get it out of his miserable position. So
exactly. And if
I
you
thought,
catch that some tempi, if you move the knight, solving that problem about queen e3, queen takes that knight on f4, and if you catch some purpose with that freedom and that free move to run away with your knight, makes and you made success about some problems and about some attack on the black pieces. That's it. Here we are. Multiple problems. Two problems for black. Knight unprotected. Knight is his unprotected piece, and he's hanging. And if knight brings another problem on the board, he'll be stunned. He just what to do? I cannot protect two I cannot solve two problems in the same time. My knight hanging, and the second problem is a problem made by your knight from f4. So
Yeah.
did you saw the sequence and what is coming and what?
No, basically, I was just letting you know that I thought about the knight move, but didn't find a nice one. Earlier on, I told you about knight e6, but that obviously is not the correct one. So then we have two more options here. It is to give him a check on g6, but I don't think that this is a nice
That will
move
be
because
actually
then
cool
the
if
back rank
the knight
mate
is
would be gone.
not. If the knight is not on c6, that is actually really cool geometrical punch. Knight g6, there is a fork for the queen and king. He has to take. When he takes with his h pawn, our queen from c4 goes to h4, gives a check, immediately attacking the rook. And the last catch is at the end that rook is protected by the knight on c6. If the knight is somewhere on the b5, that could be amazing, tactic.
Yes.
Queen c4, knight g6, check on h4, and you will take the rook with a forced, quality up, easy winning game. But that fact, knight protects the rook. Needs to move your thoughts in completely another direction. And if you give a check knight g6, h6, you can take the knight. The material is equal. Black has the double pawns, but I believe that is not enough for the victory. And you didn't catch any material from that combination.
Yes, that is correct.
That combination.
So the next move with the knight would be, I just take everything into consideration here, would be h5. What would it
But
mean?
why?
Yeah, that is the reason I need to figure out why. It would just be taken by the queen, and the rook on d8 is still holding off our back rank mate. So this
Bring the threat with that. Bring the threat on the board with that knight.
I would have the... Yeah, but that is bad, of course. I think it is knight to d3, attacking the queen, but then he could still go to queen e3, checking, and also attacking the knight on d3, then double with the rook and the queen. So that is no good idea.
Okay, so where is the last square where he
Yeah,
can make
d5.
some troubles and attack? d5 is for free. He is for free there,
Yes.
so, and he don't attack something. And the last one, you literally avoid.
We have still two moves. It is h3 and e2.
No, you forget about the most important square. And you try to avoid everything what is serious.
Balint, did you mean e6?
Of course.
Balint, I said e6 15 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. Then I probably heard about g6 or something. But
Yeah.
e6 is something what directly
that was my
affects.
first move. Yes. because
sorry.
it could remove the defender for the back rank mate, and also
Mhm.
attacks the
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you well. Probably I
okay.
heard that knight
Mm,
g6.
okay. So that was let's start again then. So this was my first move. It was knight to e6, attacking the defender for the back rank mate.
Mhm.
And so if he takes with the queen, then I can take with my queen, and I'm happy. So he cannot do this, and he has to move the rook. So, and if he moves the rook, where to? Basically, he has to move it out of the way of the D file, and we can take the knight finally, because our knight would still be protected by the queen.
Mhm. And that's it.
Barland, look at me.
Still.
Woohoo! Okay, super nice. Okay, so let's go then. It was, sorry, of course, first the queen. I had it right. Okay, so this one, and now this one, and now we have the back rank mate. Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's really tough to find that 96. I was
Mm.
also, oh, what next? That is not
Mm.
forced, completely forced. We are
Mm.
searching for some tracks or attack the queen. Sometimes when you attack the with your knight, some
Mm.
protected rook, that doesn't seem, oh,
Mm.
wow, right? That seems so. But
Yeah, but
that is not
the catch is
just
really that.
just a
Mm. Mm.
material. That is a protector for the back rank, and
Yes.
the problems getting worse, and you cannot stop that
Mm.
domino effect. Okay.
Let me just think of one thing that I'd like to check, and that is. Hold on. Okay. Our knight could just jump out of the way, then I think. My question here was if I go here and
What if
he
he
just.
goes knight a5?
Say it again, sorry?
Uh, uh, is your question what if he played knight to a5?
Knight to a5. It's my second question now, after you said it. My first question would have been what happens if he plays now rook e8?
Then what are you doing if he goes rook e8?
If he goes rook e8,
Still back rank problem, and you can pick the knight for free.
yes, because if he takes, yeah, correct, yes. Okay, so that is the. Okay, so now knight a5. So if he plays knight a5, then I don't care about my queen. I just take his rook.
Exactly, and the back rank story
Yes,
still on and still
lovely.
available for.
Yes, very
Lovely.
good.
Let's go. Next one.
Barland, finally. It is like pulling teeth. Okay, so we are having black to play here. Let's see.
Yeah, and I
So,
believe this becomes even harder, and
oh no. Okay, but we'll see.
oh no.
Okay. Mm. Okay. So, my first idea here, Barland, would just take the knight on d4, and if he takes, I take the bishop on e6, and we are +1. That would be my
Probably
first idea.
that is a just smart and not greedy solution. I believe even in life, in chess, every time that type of kindness and humble approach is must be good or something. Uh, you'll have a good luck with that approach, right? You are not greedy to take everything, and you're satisfied if you get back something when you have more than you need. So in that moments when you have material advantage, try to avoid some, I will take every pawn from him, I will not give him nothing. Your
Mm,
queen, rook, and some plus just trade some queen pieces. Even if you give two two pieces for one, you will reduce his options, and that is the easiest way, and the easiest play, right, for the win. So if you go rook d4, yeah, maybe he will ignore that rook. Oh no, he will not. And then you can maybe take with your queen or something like that. I don't know where is the problem if you take for free knight to e6. Knight b5 check, maybe. Oh yeah, knight b5 check. We have to go, yeah.
but it is a
Okay.
checkmate, isn't it already, Balint? I mean, if I take, hold, let me think, of course, as always. So, if I, for example, take the bishop away, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if he
Mm-hmm.
retakes, then I can give him a check, but the check doesn't work because he has pawn d3.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can take back, you can take his second piece, 96, 96, and queen e6. Very cool.
yes, this would all work. I was just checking for a checkmate situation with my queen on f5, but it doesn't work because of pawn d3. Hmm.
Then we have to find something better for white. That is super
Hmm.
obvious. Something must be hidden here, and that is not the best move for white. So
Hmm.
basically, knight e6 is probably crucial mistake, and probably that was played in this game or something, some hidden reason why this position is in this curse. So
Hmm.
knight is a problem because knight gives a check on b5. Then scan the options for black. We cannot go on c6, we cannot go on d6 or d7. If we goes on b8, there is a knight d7 fork. Bye bye, game is lost. So immediately, if we goes on d8, then queen can take on
Hmm.
d5, queen
Yes.
d7, and really ugly story for us.
Hmm.
That is also what we want to avoid. And the last piece of puzzle is if we take knight b5, king to c8, right? If we cannot find something amazing for white, then okay, maybe we can take the bishop. But if we can find something for white, that is
Hmm.
the instant alert. Do not go there. There is a trap. So
Hmm.
let's push the final solution after knight e6, knight b5, king c8. Can we find something normal for white? That is the question, and if we can, then it's super dangerous to take this bishop. And basically, I can just tell you, go Jan with the rook d4 if that doesn't work. So knight e6, knight b5, king goes to c8. And what next? Is the queen d5 the best move? Is the check on d6? Oh, yeah. That is also really, really Nice approach. Then I believe the check on d6 is completely correct, with probably repetition. If you goes on b8 again, knight d7 fork. If you goes on d8, then maybe queen can
If the
take.
queen d5 check.
Yeah, then no, that is not check. Knight is on d6, but there is a really hard threat, discover attack, and knight on d6, king exposed, no escape for him. I believe that is really ugly, really ugly for black, and that is the reason why we should avoid all these stuffs with the knight e6 and keep forward with a more patient and more realistic approach. Why you are not satisfied if you take the piece and take the other piece for your rook? In this moment we are one quality up, so I believe that is the best way to go forward.
Knight e6?
No, knight e6 is a mistake.
As you said,
First
it's giving us all the problems, right? So it is rook takes d4.
that solution, I think it's even more practical, and
it was correct.
I think in this case is correct, yeah.
And he didn't take to save his bishop, and to also maybe take the pawn on b7. So we now need to think of something else.
We are with big material advantage. That's the point. That is a big fact. So you can give something back to avoid some troubles. And
you mean just taking the bishop now with the rook?
I believe that is the best move by far.
Yes, that is something that I also learned in a Yasser Sairavan course, that if you have material advantage, don't fear reducing your material if it brings you into a better position. So we just take.
Of course, sometimes you can just give, I don't know, the only hope for him is his bishop, and you sacrifice your rook because you are full rook up. You don't need full rook up, you just need that piece and peaceful position to end up in some safe stories.
Sorry, Balint, I just say hello to Greg. And Greg, I believe you are a fellow Chess Dojo member, I think. Nice meeting you, of course.
Hello.
Okay. But I guess we saw it too late. He's already out, I think. So that happens. Okay, so Balint, it was an alternative move. So if we take again, you can see it's alternative. And there must be a better move. And that is just saving the rook, I think. Just going back to a4, saving it.
And that is completely, that is for sure that the computer move. Human approach is slightly different. We don't need +7. We are completely satisfied with +3 and safe position and clear plan and at what next.
Is there something else that we can do? We could give him a check now, but that doesn't matter.
Did you play rook da4?
No, I didn't. Shall I do it? Yes,
you mentioned that
solution. Yes.
So the other solution is just to save him and.
Okay, we take it. Doesn't matter. All right. So then it is white to play now. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Let's see. But Balin, did you notice the position earlier? How fast I got the right solution? I love it. Okay. Okay. So white
What
to
is
play.
going on? Uh-huh. Okay. This is really strange because this seems king is never safe, and everywhere from the after 7-10 moves, everywhere is a pressure and attack. We don't have that stable positions like we have in classical chess, because bishops usually needs just one move to take a longer diagonal, or to maybe aim the king or some more important piece. But in this situation,
I
sometimes
think.
we have instant pressure on the king, because the bishops are synergized, or they are taking the immediately that fianchetted, that longest diagonals on the board.
I thought I already have the solution, but it doesn't work out. My idea here was, of course, to remove the defender on f4. Then I could
Mhm.
give check, and I thought it is checkmate on e6. But if he takes with the rook, he has that escape square for a little while. Hold on. So if we take with the rook on f4, then we give a check on e6 with the queen. Then the king needs to go to f8, and then we. Oh, this is so lovely, Balint. I think no, sorry, it's not, because my bishop on a1 is stuck because we still have the pawn on e5. Otherwise, it would be a really nice mate. So then we are still having that there. And if we give a check on queen g7, he needs to go to e7. And when he went to e7, we have a perpetual if we'd like to, probably. But this cannot be the solution. So what am I missing here? Were you able to follow my thoughts so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
So no other progress. Usually, can you attack his queen? Ah. So you must focus your forces on the Black King. The only way
Yes.
how to catch him is to destroy the knight. That is the last protector for this e6 square.
Yes, correct. But if he takes with the rook on from e8, then he has an escape square on f8 for the black king.
That is completely correct, but we will not give up at that moment. It's not clear. As you mentioned, queen goes to g8, king b7. Then maybe you can give a check again and take the pawn on g6.
Check. Hold on. Yes, correct. he needs to go back with the king. Then I take. But if I take the pawn, it's not a check anymore. Barling, who thought that this session would be so hard? I thought, well, some technical problems, and we're good. Good night, and everything. Everybody's happy. But these are really brain teasers to me. Like, my brain is fried here.
You must go forward with that options. No other path. You know, if you are checking the logical ways how to break this position, it's not possible.
I have to say, we are now 6-7 plays ahead, and I'm losing vision.
Yeah. Nothing happens, and here we will find something after Queen G7, King to E8, and then what can we do? Queen takes on G6.
Yes, that was the last part. King is still on E7, and we take with the queen. That was my vision.
On E8, that happens with a check. So at the end, you will take back that quality, but you will take his knight, you will take the pawn on G6, and you will enter with your knight from E3. And again, no how to say, no spectacle, you know, no position where you are queen up. How to be queen up or how to checkmate queen is there on A8, and this is tactic just to take one pawn or maybe to, you know, destroy the king.
Barlind, I usually approach these puzzles the following way. I usually do it like this. I do exactly the same what we did. I try to visualize it, telling my moves. And then if I lose vision and don't know where I am, I'm stuck. I can repeat this, of course, but then I just play out the moves and see if they're correct. And sometimes it immediately pops up once the position is on the board. So I'm going to do this for now. But I know many good chess players say, no, you have to first see everything in your head before you are able to do the first move. And so I feel it's some kind of cheating if I do the first moves that I know should be correct without seeing the whole sequence. I hope you will forgive me.
Of course. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go. I understand you. You cannot see with my eyes some stuffs, and that is not at the end visible for you. Why this is so important? At the end, you'll take just one pawn, and that's it. Queen G8. He has to go on E7. Queen G7. Another check. At the end, you'll be satisfied with that. You sacrifice your rook.
I already missed this intermediate move. The G7, giving him check so I can take with a check. Okay.
You can take with a check, and I believe this is more than enough for minimum compensation. Now, for example, if you want to take back material, you can play knight to F5. And he must sacrifice, otherwise you will checkmate him.
Barlind, this is a move I have not seen.
Neither neither, but I felt my feeling was okay. You will take this one, you will continue with checks, and that is completely destroy king, and you will not have some material advantage if you're searching that 10 years, not just 10 minutes.
Incorrect.
That is,
It was here.
but
Okay.
we forgot that another in between move. You
Uh-huh.
see another first move, and you will take the rook with a check and check
Yes.
and check, and you'll checkmate him. Queen f5, queen f7. This is really tough, and you can see this is 7 moves in front. You know, five
Yes.
ply in front maybe. So it's not easy to understand and to catch
Oh, it is.
immediately.
Yeah. So if it's 7
Immediately.
move, we are now at move 8. So it's 15 plies.
Oh, yeah, 15 plies. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But I got the idea, and that is something that I'm quite happy with. So that works for me for now.
Yeah, this was tough, and probably the last 2 or 3. How much do we have?
5,
Would be
6. Mm,
5, 6. Oof.
we'll make it. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
So
let's go.
this is called Fork Town. You want to take your opponent to Fork Town, but you never want to end up there yourself. Just like pins, skewers, and checkmates, the potential for unusual forking patterns is very high in Fischer Random. Okay, so it's black to play with lots of super forks.
Yeah, this one is actually really cool.
You saw it already? Okay, so let me check what I can do here. Okay. So... The first fork that comes to my mind is knight to d2, forking both rooks, but can be taken by queen or bishop. So... I could bring up my, well,
First
knight.
of all, real. Second one, solutions about checks. Third one, every fight between the pieces. What are you attack? What is under attack? And what you can take. That first conflict contact story. So pieces which are fighting each other. So look at your knights, what you are attacking and where that lead you. Is that force solution? And does white need to react on specific forced way? If you find something like that, then follow that lead because that is something forced. What is force in this situation at this moment?
Balin, sorry, I just have to tell you, it must be so funny if someone comes into the stream now. I'm looking super sad, saying nothing. You are there being silent, also looking on the photo like, and but it's just chess, it is thinking. I have to find out. I'm, of course, doing variations in my head, but I don't find anything really threatening here. Of course, I'd like the. Well, I'm working with pins now, but this is about forkings. So, or forks. So, what could happen? So, if I give. Well, this doesn't work.
So very fine, you hit the wall. Because you don't have. It's a really nice one. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
So somehow I would like to get my knight on f3, forking king and queen. That would be nice, but I see no way how to do that. So then
Go directly. Go directly. You are hitting the wall, and you are just again speaking about flowers. Some this one or this one, but that is completely not possible. Practically not possible. Hit the first move. What is the first move? You try with check, knight e2, give up that. No checks, nothing else. Go further with that levels. Where is the conflict? If you don't have that story, this is a fork, you are searching for some fork, but you are hitting the wall all the time. No progress. Next station is what you are attacking. That's the conflict. That's the next story.
Balin,
Can you take directly something? Take that.
Yes.
Think where that lead you.
But Balin, I have to say, it was so interesting when you said good evening. I thought you were saying good evening to someone at your house. And because I was so concentrating on the board and not at the chat. So Tarakam is the chess dojo guy who was with me for like 5, 6, 7 of the World Championship matches. And so nice having you, Tarakam. And just to bring you up to what we're doing here, we are trying to brine my frame as good as possible. So for the last 3, 4, 5 puzzles, I'm just looking at the board, seeing absolutely nothing, and I'm just like. So maybe you can jump in. Sometimes Tarakam has also really nice suggestions. I'm hitting a wall. So
thinking, like literally fairy tale, some magician solution, and because of that you don't have any progress. You saw knight d2, there is a fork, and you are stunned there, you are still there. How to reach knight d2? No direct, no. The fork is at first move or seventh move. There is a trick about fork, but before you need to do some steps. So material, check that. Finished. Second story, can I give a check? Finished. Checked. Done. No, there is the wall. So conflict, instant, what you can hit for free, or where is and how big consequences are if he don't take something. So that you will take pawn. Will he recapture, or you will take his bishop because you are attacking his bishop? Can he recapture? Maybe there is where you need to dig to find some solution. Go with simple moves. Do not try to find something magician and bright. Completely. Whoa. Go with simple stories. The material is equal. Just hit him first. That's it. You'll see action reaction. You're moving some pieces. You're doing some stuffs. I would go knight e3. Thank you. So it's not possible to not notice this knight e3 earlier, but you probably didn't go deeper.
Okay, so if I take the bishop on e3, what happens?
What happens?
Usually takes with the queen.
That's the progress.
So, and if he takes with the queen, then I could give him a fork on. I'm just thinking here, yeah. So I'm could fork his both rooks with my other knight. So he takes with the queen again, and then I could give him a check with the bishop on d4. But that leads me to nothing except that I lost 2 knights and...
Reverse your moves. Reverse your moves.
What does it mean, reverse my moves?
You hit knight e3, he will take queen e3.
Yes.
Hit him again. It's simple, Jan. It's really, really simple. But sometimes you're completely stunned and you're stuck with some ideas. You are thinking so super global, and you don't see the wood in
it's forest.
because of the full forest. Yeah, exactly.
It is knight to e2 forking. You pin the queen with the bishop. Nope. It is yeah. So Tawakam says it's knight takes e3. Correct. He takes with the queen, and then I give him a pin with the bishop. He takes with the queen, and I go with my knight to e2, forking king and queen.
Exactly. So you no way to find that type of fork if you are not making any progress. You cannot break that wall. Just punch him. See reaction. See that if I hit the wall, that is painful. And maybe I need to change the angle or something. So try with that punches. Because some global general evaluation will not completely, sometimes lead you in blind street and no progress. So that situation, if you cannot give a check, immediately check every options to literally hit the piece. Rook attacks this one, hit him. The bishop attacks something, bomb. And through that concept, you will see the reaction of your opponent. That is the way how you will make any progress. Otherwise, you're just speaking about theoretical global options, but you're completely out of that moment for the present situation on the board. Again, if you cannot give a check, hit. That's it.
I have an in-between question to you. And do you know what Schadenfreude means? Schadenfreude is a German word.
Oh no.
So
please.
It's based out of 2 words, and one is Schaden is damage. Yeah. And Freude is happiness. So basically, the word Schadenfreude means you are happy if something bad occurs to somebody else.
So yeah, we have the phrase also in Serbian language that is, we wants to neighbor, cow dies, and that's it, like
Yeah,
that.
pretty
That's
much
the
that.
way. So I'm not happy, nothing happy for me, but neighbors, cows dies, that's the point. So some
Yeah.
unhappiness surrounds cheering for that. Yeah, I don't know. That is a really rare concept, but probably is here. Yeah, it happens in chess. Oh, what do we have here?
White to play we have, and it is against Schadenfreude. Okay, so checking tower come, of course. You are invited. So let's go. So, is there a possible fork coming in? We'll see. So, first thing is always checking the checks. So, I give him first a check with the knight on b8. And if he
Knight
takes...
on b6. Again, you're going with some situation you don't believe actually in that situation. So
Yeah, I'm
sometimes that concept remove you because you are calculating some situation you don't believe that is the best and forgetting the point. That's the point. Rook b8. Okay, I'm sorry, I maybe stop you, but try to go with more logical ideas.
okay.
You
So,
mentioned you said knight b8. I don't know. Do you mean rook b8 or knight b6?
no, I meant rook b8. So, and the
Oh,
reason was I'm checking every check that I see. Yeah, and
okay.
there I don't care which one is the best first, so I just try all of them. So,
Okay,
but
okay.
you said the most logical ones first, which is totally fine with me. Okay, so we are going with the knight to b6. Check. So, and king to b8 doesn't make sense.
Neither king b7. Immediately in the same moment. Why? Why not
Because
king
I
b7?
can just attack the queen and he loses the queen because
That's
it's a
it.
discovered
Discover
attack.
attack.
Exactly.
Okay. King
Okay.
d7. Theoretically not possible. King d8.
Yes, and with king d8.
I'm not telling that do not do like that, Jan, but sometimes you are wasting so much energy at the beginning and you forget about, where I am. I'm just, stuck in the C variation, C option. But
And Balin,
you are, uh-huh.
as you are commentating my games, this is what constantly happens. Yeah, and
And you are going far away from that logical situation. You are cheering for something, but you escape in another direction, and you know that is not the good path. But you are there, and you are waiting to enter on the right course. That sometimes that happens with your thought process. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, you're fine. Okay.
Okay, knight b6, knight b6.
King d8.
We saw that king b8, king d7 doesn't. King b8, king b7 doesn't work. King d7 is not possible
Yeah.
because
But if
that
we
square is
force the king away, we always have this very nice fork on d5. The problem is only that he could just go queen e6 and the knight is pinned because of our king on a2.
And you see the problem. You said everything, but you didn't made any conclusion, any rational conclusion. And you will go back at the beginning and again, and you will test. Oh, maybe I can give knight d6 check, and maybe I can take rook c7, and you're far away from any conclusion,
but
because
that,
you theoretically notice that, but you are not giving any progress or conclusion about some specific variation.
but
Try
that was,
uh-huh.
but Balint, this is very important to me. But this was my conclusion, that I can rule out this candidate move. So I thought this might be nice, because that would be the fork. And then I see this doesn't work, and now I need to go to the next one.
That's the problem. You found solution, but you are going on the next one. You don't have conclusion. You have theoretical options, tap, 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 but you are hitting the wall even if you can skip them, and that's it. And you go back at the beginning.
Okay,
and
then
back at the beginning.
Okay,
That
then
is the reason why you spend sometimes you spend so much time, and you're fighting to go directly, maybe with better options. I don't know. Okay, yes, this is easier way. Rook b8. Doesn't seems like first contact move right on the board. That is theoretical options. Maybe you will skip your thoughts on the process with what about knight d6, and again multiple options. Will he play king d7, king d8, queen d6? You will moving that pieces, you will forget the point. That's the problem about calculations. At some moment you must favoritize some solutions, and maybe immediately try to dig there. Otherwise you are going very, very wide and general, and you don't have practical progress about your next move, because you mentioned and you said the correct solution, but you didn't notice because you were stopped because of queen e6. He's pinning me, and that's it. No real conclusion at the end, and you will go back at the beginning, spending so much time. At the end you will probably move by the, I don't know, you will play after some period, some move which is far away from your best solutions, and maybe you will make the mistake.
Okay,
Anyway,
Balint,
okay.
this is super important for me, because this is something that I notice in my games actually, that I have trouble finding the correct candidate moves and follow up on them thoroughly, like not just thinking one ply ahead, but at least 3 plies ahead. So if I play, then okay, we just repeat this. We have knight to c6. He goes king d8. Then I go knight to d5. Yeah, threatening the queen. But then I have also rook to b8 after that, checking him. And now you either roll your eyes and say, again, you're again wrong. But
I cannot follow you. I cannot follow you. Basically, the knight is the knight on b6 or d5.
I continue. Okay. I
rook
repeat.
b8.
I repeat. Okay. So we have the knight giving check on b6. He goes king d8. We go knight to d5.
Okay.
Forking. So basically, if he doesn't like to lose his queen, he has to move it. So he is moving the queen anyway. Yes, to any place. And after that, we have a rook b8 check on the king.
But check is still, yeah, okay. And then king goes out, or rook goes back, or multiple
basically,
options.
he has two moves, one move, and that is the king to d7.
I don't know how to help you, but you just skip the right moment because of that general tap, tap, tap. you don't hit in the right moment, and that's the problem. You have that knight b6. He goes with something else, and again, what if he goes knight d5? You just need to see you have something bigger and more forced. And then you calculate, the knight d5, then he will pin my knight, then rook b8, king goes out. Do I have something, or my knight is hanging? So much questions and problems. Instead of direct tap over.
Okay,
So
then
literally,
I
if I
try tap
tell you,
tap tap. Let's go. Come on. So
let's go
we again give it the check with the knight on
on big six.
b6.
Okay.
So he goes king d8.
Goes king d8.
Then we
Okay.
should always go for checks. So we try the rook to d5, giving him another check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
But
now
that is obvious square for the fork, right?
that
If
is
you
the
don't
square
give
for the
a
fork,
check,
yes.
what is something else? What is forced? If you trade the pieces, if you hit him, right? So
Oh,
no
Barland, how lovely.
no big science, Jan. That's the point. Sometimes you are enjoying during that process of calculating everything, but you forgetting the point, and you goes very, very deep or very, very general, and you completely don't know what what was the point after second move. That's the point.
Okay.
So it's simple. Sometimes with a simple solution,
Yeah, we go
and
with Tower Comes solution. I believe he got it right. Knight b6, king d8, rook takes c7, king takes c7, and we have knight
exactly.
d5. Lovely. Yes. Mm?
Of course. So simple methods. And through that simple methods, you'll see, okay, if I take the rook, he don't take that rook, I'm going rook cc4, that's it. And no big calculation, no really, really, really deep, because sometimes it's not possible, and we are completely confused after 15 lines we calculate, right? So sometimes it's okay to scan everything, that options with A, B, C, but sometimes when you have multiple checks and multiple options, try to be more specific and find this one, because you saw something really good. Basically, you don't need to waste time or energy for I don't know, rook b8, knight d6, rook c7 option, because that is obvious what you want. It is knight on d to paint the situation with the knight on d5. Only way is knight b6. Then okay, will I take or will I play knight d5 first? Probably I will take knight d5 over.
Barland,
Just to save time, at some moment when you are in middle game, for this one you can spend 30-40 minutes, no problem, if you have enough time.
Yes. Okay, the thing is, I'm not 100% sure, but when I said I can give the fork, but the queen can go here, and then I have the pin on the knight, I was not really finished with my calculations. Yeah, so just for my defense, we never know what head came up. So I'm just slow, Barland, really slow. Okay, so we just do the moves and then see what happens, and then go on for the next one.
Okay, so knight b6, this one.
Saving it from the deadly fork. And now we are in check. So
Defensive move, your rook is hanging and you are under check. That's our two facts.
Yeah, so it is just rook to c4, protecting both. Well, my rook is still hanging, so he could take the... No, he cannot take. That's... Yeah, I think it is c4.
It's, sometimes it's super simple. Of course, you can check rook bc4, rook knight c4, but everything is clear. Your rook on c7 is hanging. Do I have a chances to save him? Yes, I have. Rook cc4 over.
Yes.
Right?
Why? Hold on. My question is,
Not
why
b,
doesn't...
but, because b6 knight is hanging. Your rook on c7 is
the knight.
hanging
Yes,
by the
correct.
queen.
Yes. Okay.
And
Yes.
just
Tuck,
remove
tuck,
that
yes.
hanging piece. Do not give another obligation for the rook, and that's
Yes.
the way how we are going with the simplest first view moments.
Okay.
What is this?
It's the next solution session here. So we only have 4 left. We make it. I make it. Okay. So let's see. It's white to play. And we have a nice fork on c5 already.
Knight on c5 already. So it's you can see the previous examples are not I don't know no bigger science about that, the I don't know, I can shoot the penalty and Messi can shoot the penalty, we will score. But some stuffs are not, his greatness is not, if he compare with my shooting penalties, because I have similar percentage to give a goal, or maybe slightly less, but I cannot run like he do, or made a dribbling. Some stuffs are simple, like everyone knows how to checkmate with a queen. So fork is a simple. Are you a Magnus Carlsen or beginner? A fork is a fork, and no bigger science or harder task or not. It's just about our vision, and are we blind or not? Literally that. So
yes, I'm usually blind.
no steps between that. Forks. You have a fork, and sometimes it's, is it so simple? Yes, it is. No bigger science behind that. So fork is a fork.
I'm happy. I believe when Wesley So put the course together, he thought, well, the other ones were so hard, now we're giving him an easy one, especially if Jan is doing the course.
Maybe that. You see, your expectation after previous one, you expecting something harder and harder, but probably that is a kind of fear. I don't know. No fears. No deep problems. If you just go with some practical one by one moves, or try to go with first move contact. So what you feeling? This one, try with that. Maybe you will be more specific and precise, and immediately you will catch the point, right? Okay, what is this?
Someone is
Another
subscribing
fork?
or following. I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So it was probably, I believe, on YouTube. I don't know, but thank you anyway. Really appreciate it. Okay. So, and Balint, this is about passed pawns, and we have a passed pawn obviously on h2, and it's probably how can we promote it or get some other advantage out of it. So
Yeah, Taukam, are you still with us? If you are, please write some solution for this one. I'm interested. Did you notice the options for black in this moment.
Okay, so is he? Yes, he's here. Okay, so. And my idea would be to give a lovely check by taking the rook on d1. And he has to take with the queen, and then I can promote the pawn, and basically he is done.
Okay, so that is one option. Where is the problem about that? What if he takes that with his, of course, king, right?
Yes.
That seems
Okay,
more
so
logical.
yeah, true. So
And
let's
if you can break that wall, there is no wall. If you cannot, then you are going, oh, okay, let's go with the general stuffs. If you cannot beat that king d1, that's it, you are in trouble. Or try to find some conclusion about that most logical first view moves. What you notice first when you see the position, when you check the board. So is that king d1 solution for white, and do you have any breakthrough after that, or that's it?
okay, if I take the king, the rook, and he takes with the king, I can check him with the rook on d8. Check. But
you know, this we have multiple theoretical checks, right? That is b2, c2, d2, but only this one is, you know, real punch, right? This gives you some, okay, seems like worthily to calculate deeper. Queen d1, king d1. What next? Do we have any continuation, or we are doomed? So what is the other plus? What do we want basically? What do you want when you took on d1? Queen d1, you want to remove his lady from h1 square to make a promotion. Can we work and can we make any progress about that idea? That's the point.
I'm fearing to tell you my thoughts because it might be all off again. So not
No,
possible.
I just was please share.
Yeah. Okay, so my idea, of course, would also be to get the knight on f2, but the bishop is there, so there's no chance to get that done.
Okay, also, yeah, bishop is there. But you, okay, the idea is to bring your knight on f2. Why, what is the purpose behind that move, knight f2? What do you want? Even if that is not a check, that is successful maneuver because you will attack the queen.
Yes, correct.
Then another question, do you have any other way to do the same thing? Maybe to pick another other square.
Oh, Barland, how lovely. I have an attack on the rook, and then I can go
Just
to
try to ask
g3.
yourself good questions, because you end up in some blind spot, blind street, and no conclusions. That's the problem when you are going
Okay, then,
approximately.
okay, so let's see. So if I take the e4 pawn with my rook and the queen takes, then if I promote, he just takes with his rook. I take with my rook, he takes with the queen, and nothing much happened. So but if I, instead of promoting right away, if I then take the rook first and then promote, can you follow?
Yeah.
Okay. That might do something. Let's see. We could go knight takes e4. That's also what tower comes has. And move order. I repeat what I'm trying to say here. It is I'll take the pawn. He takes with the queen.
Okay.
And why does he need to take with the queen? Because I take his rook. If I don't take his rook because he moved the rook out of the way, I go knight g3, attacking the queen, so he has to go out of the way. So best option is probably taking the knight. And if he takes the knight, I take his rook. He has to retake with the king on d1.
And h1.
And then I can go promote, and we should be fine. So that is my solution.
Yeah, you have everything, but you need to sort that pick order, move order.
Move order is always a problem also. Okay, let's check. So I believe the first move is the knight move. But does it have to be the knight? We could also take with the queen first. Queen first, he takes with the king. So then I take the pawn. Same thing, he has to take. And if we then move the pawn, he's forced to take. Is that true? Yes, he's in check. And is that the right solution for the correct move order? We don't know yet.
So the move order is important. Yeah, that is the point. That is the hint. To take on e4 and jump on g3.
Say it again, sorry.
So that's the point. Knight takes on e4 at one moment, and knight goes to g3.
But the knight is gone because the queen takes it.
Then it's easy. Take the rook and promote the queen, right?
First.
Or second, yeah, that's the question. Knight e4 first.
Yeah, so I already got it correct then, I think. We'll see. We take this one first. This is correct. So now I'm taking the rook. Also correct. And now I'll take this one. Click the queen. And that was the solution. And that's what I got.
Bravo. So the point is to paint somehow in your mind some brilliant picture. Then you are going at the beginning. Because of that, you must find some conclusion. Conclusion is I want this, this, and this, and then final touch is move order. You must not 1 3 2 or 1 2 3.
I'm so often
That's the point.
struggling with move order. Yeah.
So that final picture is important, and then we are going at the beginning, checking again. Maybe we need to mix that move order, and here we are.
Right. So then I just guess we have 2 more left. Yeah. And Balint, you don't know how happy I am when we are over with this. It's just amazing. So.
I know you struggle so much, and I'm Jan, how you don't see that? Why you are giving that check? So I know that feeling.
Okay, so we go. Only one move can save white. That's all good. All good. So only one move can save white. What is the correct move? Chuck, 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 chuck. And I think I have it, Balint. It should be rook c4.
Rook c4. You want to push the pawn. That is something the biggest on the board, right? Yes. Promotion the queen, big material. So how to manage that? Rook is a protector. Let's move the rook. Rook c4. Pop. Over.
Ta-da. Deal and done. Love it. Okay.
You see, sometimes our prediction, I also had that when I grows with puzzle streak, or something, I expecting something, I don't know, ultra godlike, and at the end that was a double attack, and I calculate 35 moves because of some numbers. Our mind is strange completely in at some moments, because we are expecting some miracle, but fork is a fork, as I said.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that's
some positions are really like a magic, and wow. But usually chess is 85 and plus percentage really, heavy fight for every millimeter, every feet on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So just simple way to make any progress. Okay, let's see the
last
next
and final one. Oh, let's see.
Last one. Okay. So, this one is probably the toughest, right?
No, it's easiest. We see. So it's black to play, black to play, black to play, black to play.
Black to play.
Of course, I don't see it right away. So we have to find. I would like to remove remove an attacker for the e2 rook, but he could just exchange rooks to get that done. So hold on. And we have a passed pawn also on the board. So what to do? Always check the checks first. So I go with queen d1, check. And if he says, I have a super nice rook move to defend that, it is checkmate immediately. So the rook cannot be the correct one. So there's only one move for the knight and for the king, and that is f2. So if he played f2, what can we do?
Do we have any serious break?
I have something super nice to tell you. I don't know if you know, but I think it's super clever. And I would promote the pawn. I would just exchange everything that is defending the king and then promote the pawn safely. Isn't that super clever?
Yes, it is to promote that pawn, and it's super simple at the end.
Yes. So again, I go queen. He needs to go
D1,
f2. Then I'll just take his rook. And basically he can take it with the knight now. But I'm free to go with the pawn now. And that should be the solution. Wait a second. He has one move left that I didn't see. It is he took with the knight on e2. And then if I do the pawn move, that is a stupid idea of him, because I thought he could protect the pawn promotion by going knight c3, but that can just be taken by my queen, and the pawn would also still be defended.
Queen is protected there. You can give him a check and take, and that's it.
So I just do that move and we'll see what happens. It is check, and now it's taking the rook. And now it is... look at that. Yes. Here. Oh, look at that one. Did you see this? We got confetti from Wesley So. Nice. Yes. Oh, Balint, that was such a tough session. Okay.
Chess is not easy, but congrats, you were really strong and focused and.
Balint, when we stop the stream, please stay online. I'd like to tell you something in private. Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So, okay.
Of course, Jan.
So then we have to do a short review of the course in general, and maybe I start first. And to me, it was a very interesting course, as I'd like to learn more about 960, of course, Fischer Random, Freestyle. And my most important need was to learn how to castle, because when I played online, I lost so many games because I did the castling wrong, where I just moved the king instead of the correct castling, and that was just sucking. And so I hope I now learned that, which is of course nice. And I learned more about what to look out for when you're making your first moves. So it's basically not just making any move, it is about center control and tactics right away. And then
some relationship between pieces, yeah.
Yes. And then we went into the tactics part, and that are coming up from these not normal starting positions. And so some might say it was just a basic tactic course, but to me it was a little more, because it were kind of strange tactics from those strange starting positions. Maybe I'm making this up, I don't know, but to me it was really different to normal positions. So this was all nice, and I can only recommend it to everyone. So if you like to do the course by yourself, just get it, or just watch all videos if you'd like to stay with me and Balint, of course. So Balint, what are your thoughts?
I think that was really nice and very interesting, strange position, a slightly different type of tactical ideas. And we saw many options where we have that smother mate or smother captured some of these pieces, some strange way how to use our diagonals from the beginning because of the position of bishops, or very easy making very easy battery bishop queen gives us a really fast approach. Also, that castle is a little bit strange, but effective probably later, as we saw during this course, we had very open fight, without castles, without safe king or close king like we expect and like we know in what happens in classical chess, but the both sides had the same troubles. So basically, I think who strike first has a small advantage, and that side can finish game very, very fast and very effective. It was cool. Yeah, it was nice.
Alrighty, then I'd like to let the guys here know we did another course earlier on. It was called "Oh No, My Queen" by Positions from Eric Rosen, and about dirty tricks and stalemate solutions and so on. And I think Barland was kind of chuckling, like, Jan, what are we doing here? But to me, it was so funny. I'm now sending Barland every stalemate position I got in. And earlier on, they happened only by chance. And now I can really see, okay, if I move my king here, there's a stalemate option. And I say 50% are now conscious decisions instead of just moving fast and trying my opponent to make an error. So that is kind of nice seeing that, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was really nice to send me. Actually, I don't know, between 5, 6, maybe even 7 positions you managed, and that was really nice percentage of saving
Lost
saving
position,
percentage
yes.
of losing games. Yeah.
Okay. And hey, I see Linda. Nice meeting you in Twitch. Balint, I have one final thing for you to do. I don't know if that is okay if we do it right away, but as we are done with this course, we'd like to continue the Chessable sessions, and I would like you to pick a course. So we are going to Chessable here, courses, all courses, and then we click on the free courses. Hold on, free. Because we are allowed to 100% show the free courses, also with video if they have video. And if we choose a non-free course, we are about able to show like 10% of the course without video. That's why we are going for the free courses here. We talked to Chessable about this, of course.
So let's find something about endgames. We didn't spoke a lot.
Okay, we click on endgames. Okay.
Channel about endgames. Maybe that could be interesting for maybe some advanced endgames.
Okay, you can see what we are having here. Yeah, and I already did this one, Magnus Carlsen free endgame lesson. Yeah, this I did already, and I also uploaded the first part yesterday. So this is out of the question, but we have several other courses. So Balint, you're free to pick. They should be in English, please.
Actually, this one, the Queen was Rook endgame.
I have a very where is it?
Go up. Free. No. I'm sorry. At the beginning, we have that Queen versus Rook.
Here it is.
Endgame.
The Queen versus Rook endgame. And you know, this is really cool because I have a friend on the chess dojo. And he already told me, Jan, we should do a sparring session about the Queen versus Rook endgame. It's really difficult, and we have to try and find it a way. And I was always hesitating, and now it comes up this way. This is really nice. I will tell him that he might take a look and follow us when we do this course. Okay, we are going to do this one. Nice. And Tower Come, you're perfectly right. Rescued a totally lost game today with a stalemate. Never resign on our level. Yes, and as we saw on the course, if you're Grandmaster level, never resign if you see a stalemate option. Yeah, okay. So, this is cool.
Yeah,
it's by Rook Shelf.
Yeah, that is what can we do next.
Yes, it is for intermediate and advanced players. So hopefully
Mhm.
I'll be in there. Okay. Lovely. And take a look what's in the course. It's a long course. It is free but really long, Balint. See, it's get for free, and it has 100 variations in total. And informational variations 90, so we are dealing basically with a course of 240, 230 positions we have to do. But it's great. I'm looking forward to this. It's something that I need to learn, and hopefully this will get a little faster than the other ones. But maybe not. We don't know. But it's something I need to learn, and I'm really looking forward to this. Thanks for choosing. Lovely.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. And if you are ready to deal with that, I'm also ready. So no problem. If we have we have a longer path, but
Mm.
actually, I believe that is really effective and really important, especially some positions. And I will tell you next time that story about my friend and really interesting. Urban story before 10 years about that modern computers and fight against queen versus rook. Probably we have
Mm.
additional pawns during these positions, of course, and it is really interesting. And when I was young, I also played very nice game with options to enter in some rook versus queen endgame with a draw, but I didn't saw that options.
Mm.
It is nice, I believe you'll enjoy, and it's really educative, and that will stay forever in our knowledge about general fighting endgames. Rook
Hopefully,
versus queen.
hopefully. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Balint, thank you so much. I think
You're welcome.
it is time to end the stream, of course. So we are going to raid someone on Twitch. And doing this right now, of course. Towercom, of course, always thank you for following us here. And I hope you are with us on the next course, of course, too. So we are following these guys that are online, and it is Camel Clutcher who we're going to raid. Okay, and starting the raid. And 7, 6, 5. It's always a countdown. It's super exciting. Okay. And right now. Alrighty. So thank you everyone and have a very good night. Bye bye for now.